Hi, this is Dr. Cochran again with you this week. I trust that you've enjoyed your studies from last week. I look forward to begin reviewing that later this evening. This is late Sunday afternoon. I'm videoing this message, and then I'll have church tonight. Then after church, I'll begin reading your assignments from this week, those that have been submitted. We'll read the others tomorrow evening. I look forward to doing that. I hope you're beginning to move forward, and each week, especially in the first 6 weeks, I want you to develop a good overview of what your Doctor of Ministry project consists of, and then in the weeks following that, we'll begin putting each proposal together, your practice proposal. I'll be working with you one-on-one with those, and I look forward to that. This week, you're going to be working on the important topic of developing your research topic or developing your research topic and then moving from not only the topic to all the way down to the research question and finally defining the purpose of the project. And there will be a purpose statement in your proposal that will read, "The purpose of this project is to," and then you'll define that. Because until you define your purpose and what you want to accomplish in your project, you'll never be able to evaluate that. One thing I want to caution you about, and I will mention again at the end of this short discussion, is that when you state your research, your project purpose, you need to be certain it is stated in precisely the same manner, both in the introduction and the methodology and the conclusion. Anytime you use the introduction, the purpose of this project is, you need to be certain that the rest of the sentence is exactly the same every time it appears in your paper. First thing you want to do, though, is choose your topic. In choosing your topic, there are two or three things I'd want to point out to you. And by the way, if you follow the sequential steps in the course instructions this week and read the material each step as you move along, making notes, I believe you'll find this a pretty orderly process. And if you understand this process, you'll be well on your way of knowing what you want to do with your project. First thing I call your attention to is choosing the topic. And as you begin choosing the topic, there are two or three things you should remember. Number one, your topic should be something about which you are passionate. You're going to spend weekends. You're going to spend late nights. You're going to take time away from your family, time away from your hobby, and you're going to be researching this topic when you're weary and would like to be doing something else. I've completed the DMin and the PhD. I've been through the process twice, and I know it becomes very rigorous. If you are going to have a sense of satisfaction in your project, if you're going to have the drive you need, this project topic must be something about which you're passionate. It should be something not about which you can write for your final degree assignment, but this needs to be something you must write about. It's something that's very important to you. It's important to your ministry, and there's a passion in your soul to develop this topic, to study this topic, and learn more about it and develop your project from that. After you've determined that this is something that I'm willing to invest the greatest amount of energy in my academic career, I want this to be my crowning academic project. I want it to be my best. This needs to be that topic that about which you are passionate. So be certain this is not just something you can do to finish the project, but this is something you must do to make a contribution to the ministry God has called you to fulfill. Now, as you begin looking at topics, also, you need to ask yourself, is there sufficient research material for me to develop this topic? And sometimes people will have a good idea, our students will have a good idea for a topic, and then they begin to look for research material for their literature review, and they realize that there's just not very much material out there. So, one thing I would encourage you to do as you move from your topic, or you begin considering your topic, is go to the school library. There's a link in the MyPIU page, and then you can, as you go to the library, look for other resources, outside resources, resources that are in house. Spend some time looking around on that site and look for ProQuest. And in ProQuest, you can read other projects, our dissertations people have written. See what other study has been done in the general subject area that you want to develop. Also, look for journal articles, theological journal articles, especially ministry journal articles. And sometimes, depending on the nature of your project, there'll be some articles from the secular field that'll be very helpful. Perhaps you're writing about leadership, or you're writing about learning technology, or learning teaching methodologies. Then you'll find helpful material in other fields outside the field of Christian studies. So be certain to explore all opportunities. And then, if you can find sufficient material, you're passionate about this, now you need to move forward to narrow that just a bit. You want to move from that to your research question. What is the question that you're seeking to answer? In other words, you're doing research. I want to study this topic, but I want to know this about the topic I'm studying. And so, what is the research? What question that will guide you as you begin developing your project? What is it that you must know? I want to know more about, and then fill in the blank. And if you can't fill in the blank, you're not ready to move forward. Then you move to the research problem. Especially in the Doctor of Ministry program, your research is to solve a problem, to address a need, to enhance a ministry. And so there's a practical result you want to come out of your Doctor of Ministry project. You are not just providing information to satisfy curiosity. You are wanting to address a pertinent problem in ministry so that your ministry can be enhanced, so that others can read your research and their ministry be enhanced from that. And so, what is the problem you want to solve? What is the need you want to meet? What is the obstacle you want to overcome? And so that becomes, of course, your ministry problem. Then, as you describe your ministry problem, you need to be certain you can describe your ministry context. You're not just seeking to address this problem in evangelical Christianity, but your area of ministry is your laboratory. And you then will want to address a research problem in a particular context of ministry, and that most likely will be the church in which you serve. Not always, but most likely. What is the background of that church? What is the location? What makes the church that you're using as your laboratory unique? In what ways is it like other churches as well? How can the application of your research be used in other fields of ministry? You want to give a detailed description of the area of ministry in which you serve, and because that will be your laboratory. And then finally, you want to come down to the place where you describe the purpose of your project. And you will develop that purpose statement that I mentioned in the beginning of this discussion. The purpose of this project is to, again, not just to enhance the field of a body of knowledge in a field, but to gain additional knowledge, apply that knowledge to meet a real life problem in an active Christian ministry. Again, your ministry is your laboratory. You do your research, and you never just gather information and write theories. You will gather information. You'll develop a plan of implementing that information and action in an area of ministry. Then you will evaluate that. And then later you will discuss how that project could have been differently and offer suggestions for others who will attempt to do things similar to what you've done in your project. And so this is an exciting time, an exciting aspect of the study. It's challenging. Be certain you follow each step of the instructions sequentially. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, to call me. We'll talk about those. This is a very important component of you moving forward to develop that doctoral project that is going to help you develop research skills to apply to other problems in ministry. It's going to help you address a need in the ministry where you're called to serve, and it's going to provide us information that others can apply in their areas of ministry. So only God knows all He's going to do through the research that you will complete in this Doctor of Ministry project. Remember, you are developing a project that may well outlive you and be used of others when your life and your ministry has come to an end. God bless you as you study this week. I look forward to seeing your research. I look forward to hearing from you if you have any questions or problems along the way. Continue the work. It is well worth the effort. You are going to make a difference in the field of ministry.